Hello, hello, hello. It is the 22nd. I'm going to be doing days 5 and 6 of the 100-day project today. Um, I have discovered a flaw in my plan, a hitch in the giddy up of my 100-day project plan. Ooh, sorry, that was really loud. Um, in that, if I have days like yesterday where I was emotionally spent and could not get myself into the mind space to craft, um, it leaves me with no cleanup. um, so I couldn't even do um, a quick 100-day project. These itty bitty little pieces. I couldn't even do those because I wasn't crafting at all yesterday. My live stream yesterday was very intense, emotionally intense, and and then I had some stuff go down after, like, almost immediately after my live stream ended, that um kind of kept me in that heightened state um for a long time. And I spent most of last night trying to alleviate the anxiety that I was feeling. I was battling a lot of chest tightness with that, dealing with that anxiety. So I definitely was not in the mood to do any kind of craft at all yesterday. Leading up to my live stream, I couldn't get into the headspace that I needed to be in to craft. And then, like I said, after the live stream, it just wasn't happening. And which is odd for me, because typically when I'm in that headspace and I'm feeling emotional, I'm feeling mentally checked out, I'll come into my craft room and I'll just do something, and it helps me step out of that. But it was absolutely not working in that manner yesterday at all. And the only thing I can figure is that because it was such an emotional day, that there was it I just had to go through it. There was no, I just had to experience it, and I had to sit in the emotions that I was feeling. And so I'm okay with that. So today I'm coming back. I still don't have any craft supplies because I haven't done any crafting for today. My the video that I usually watch on Thursdays as part of my challenges that I'm doing has not dropped yet. So I haven't really done any crafting. I've just kind of been catching up on videos that I missed yesterday. Um, so I don't really have a lot of supplies going on my desk. I do still have this little bit of crocheted doily lace. I think it was a placemat type thing originally. I have a little bit of this left still. um, Still have some of this paper over there in the pile, this paper over there in the pile. But other than like scrap paper and a little bit of lace, I really didn't have anything like immediately on my desk as far as leftovers. So I got into my die cuts, pulled out some die cut stuff, got some images. I have other die cuts for this one that I'm gonna audition, and hopefully I find something in there and don't have to dig back into my pre-cut die cut drawer, because it is currently blocked by my three art bins of dies. So can't really get to it readily. I'd have to move a bunch of stuff to be able to get into the drawer where these live, So I'm hoping I find something in here to go on this one. So I'm going to do one tag and one pocket for yesterday's and today's projects. And yeah, let's see what I can come up with. And I have my little, if I decide I want some paper scraps, I do still have my my trash basket over there that's got the strips in it that I could use along the way as well. So this one, I'm going to decorate this as my front rather than this, because this piece is not tall enough. As you can see some of the card here and some of the card here. It is almost the perfect width, minus this little part. But I can cover this with, excuse me, with pieces of lace. Pardon me a second. I'm almost beginning to wonder if the itchy scratchy throat weird. Sorry, suddenly my phone is talking. Oh, that is not even the right phone. Weird. Okay, so the phone that's set way off over there to the side suddenly decided to play some YouTube. But anyway, I'm beginning to wonder if some of this itchiness that goes on in my throat all the time is actually associated with one of my medications, because yesterday I was having so much anxiety about my live stream, I forgot to take my morning meds, and I was able to get through that entire stream without any kind of itchiness in my throat, nothing. And I was fine all morning. I'm supposed to take my meds at 8. I forgot at 8. My 9:30 alarm went off. I zoned it off. And so I didn't even actually take my medication until like a little after 10 this morning, which was about 20 minutes before I started this video. And now my throat is itchy, and yeah, so I'm beginning to wonder if it's not one of my medications. And the only thing only medication I take in the morning and at night is my gabapentin. It's the only medication that's like throughout an entire course of a day. So I'm like, something to pay attention to, something for me to pay attention to and to monitor. And just kind of see how things go, because I was doing really well at remembering to take my medication. Sometimes a little late, but I was still at least remembering to take it. But there have been days, like in the last month or so, where I have completely forgotten, like an entire day's worth. So I forgot my morning meds, I forgot my evening meds, and then see, wake up the next morning and I'm miserable because I didn't take any of my meds the day before. But I've never taken the time to see if there was a correlation with the itchy and scratchy throat, because it didn't occur to me until like just now that I have not had an itchy throat all morning. And now within a half an hour of taking my meds, my throat is scratchy again. So I will start taking note of that. But Lord, I don't know what I'm going to do if I, the one medication I've already had to withdraw from was part of my pain management regimen. So if I end up losing the gabapentin too, I'm going to be one miserable cookie because I don't know what they're going to be able to give me for pain management. Because I don't need opiates. It's nerve pain. And yes, it's painful. Yes, it's annoying. And that's not to say that people that have nerve pain don't need opiates. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying my nerve pain is not bad enough that I would seek out opiates as a solution. I would much prefer taking a nerve blocker rather than a pain blocker, since it is nerve pain. But we shall see. Let's not put the cart before the horse, and let's pay attention to. I will be paying attention to what my body is doing and how it's responding and reacting over the next couple days and doses, and we'll go from there. So I cut this off. This was part of an old another pocket that I had already done. So this is folded. It's glued down. And so I was contemplating on whether or not to go ahead and use it rather than cut it off and have it as a scrap or throw it away. Sorry. Suddenly I'm getting really warm too. Turn my fan off. Or my heater off. I was debating on whether to create a pocket out of it. Glue here and here. And then this becomes a pocket on a tag. So then there'd be a pocket, But then I'm like, does it blend in too much? Is there a way that I can make that stand out? With what's on my desk. I can't get up. That's the rule for myself. There's no getting up and getting more supplies. I have to use what's on my desk. Or within arm's distance. So, Oh my, why won't that stick down? Because it's not glued. So I could put black lace down. It's kind of where my thought just went. Put the black lace down. I don't even know. Yeah, okay, I'm in frame. Put this over the top. And then I could take. Man, I really need to clean my desk. It's kind of one of the black flowers. This one's throwing me off. I'm gonna set that one aside for now. That I'm having a hard time visualizing that one. So this one is kind of, it's not kind of, it is bird forward, bird centric. Reaching for my green. Now I inadvertently broke my rule. Not as in like I didn't, it wasn't a conscious thing. I pulled this out of my die cuts, which is arm's length. The birds was arm's length. And I started decorating and I'm like, oh, I need something in that corner. And I was like, oh, I know. I have these little bird's nests that I made. And I got up and I grabbed it, trimmed it down, and then I sat down and went, oops. Not arm's length. But I can't put that cat back in the bag because these are created on a strip. And so once they're pulled off, once they're cut off, they're cut off. So, I mean, I could choose not to use it today, just in the spirit of things, and, leave it as a scrap on my table for another day. But I might, either way, it's a scrap and it's on my desk now. So I might as well use it. Sorry, my inks were being a little stubborn back there. They didn't want to stand up. Not my inks, my daubers. I mean, okay, so I'm going to ink up my birds. There's a glue spot on my paper. You saw me kind of scoop a big old glob of glue a little bit ago. That was when I was gluing this on this, the other one. When I hit this, it went poof, and it gouged a bunch of glue out. So there's like glue globbies on there. Okay. Now this paper is longer than the card. And you saw me fold it over and ink there. I'm going to do these so that when this gets glued into a book, the tabs here are what gets glued into the book. So then you have the entire width of this as your pocket. I'm going to almost go the entire width of a standard half sheet journal. It has got to be one of my meds because my nose is starting to itch really bad too. Just ironic because one of my morning meds is my allergy med. It's like the allergy pill that I take in the morning. But how ironic would that be that I've developed an allergy to one of the medications that I take with my allergy pill? Or better yet, in true fashion for me, and my paradoxical and stupid reactions to stuff, is that I develop an allergy to my allergy pill. That would be on brand for me. Those are inked, so I can lay this flat, and because I've inked that fold, I'm able to see where the edges are. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this one. There's a lot of glue on there. So I'm going to go ahead and whoop. Finish gluing the glue page, which I now have 3 of on my desk, so I need to either file them or create with them. Oh, there they are. I'm like, I don't know where my pile went that I was starting. got mixed into my scraps. So I have 3 already. 3 glue pages. I need to either create with them or file them. Oop, now I need a new glue page. Pull a stack down. I totally just glued the wrong side of that. Oh well. This is a fun little die cut that I have. Does all these little circles. And so once you press it out, you get a whole bunch of all over. So if you're into the confetti type art, doing like shaker cards or anything like that, these kind of dies are perfect because then you end up with all of those little scraps, or as Gail calls them, the giblets. I'm going to make an executive decision, since a lot of these over the next 100 days, 95 days, whatever it is, are going to be pockets. I'm going to go grab my circle punch. I'm going to leave it on my desk. Let's go. Thank you. It got stuck. Oh my goodness. I don't think that is totally not centered. Oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. Moving on. That also was not the same green. So I kind of want some book page on here. Ooh, there's a whole lot of war language on that scrap. Let me grab some of my other scraps out of my basket here. Again, this book, as I said before, this book is about the Vietnam War. And so there's going to be language in there that is brutal, is not politically correct. But I didn't choose the book for the content. I chose it for the caramel color of the paper, the beauty in the paper. So I guess I need to stop pouring the ash from my waterfall backflow fountain. I guess I need to stop dumping that into my basket of scraps, because every time I dig in there, I end up with ash all over myself. And that book page is just to give it some background. So that's that. I've watched the couple of videos that I've done on this now. Do you have any thoughts? Should I save this? Save all 100 of these for the end of the 100 days? And then we'll show them off all as, one by one piece of works? Or should I be using them along the way? What do you think? I mean, obviously, if I was doing it in a journal or in a book, it'd be like, all right, yep. Or if I was collaging like I am the other books, obviously, I'm not going to use it along the way. But since I am making movable, removable stuff, should I be using it or should I hoard it until the end of the 100 days? And then start using it. What do you think? Let me know. So let me try these first. I love these. This particular die cut, but I don't love cutting them out. I love the way they look. I love using them. But man, are they a pain to cut out. So we're going to bring this one back in. We're going to give this idea a little bit more thought and see if I can make it make sense in my head into a project before I abandon the idea of using a pocket here. See, because I'm not thinking that these are going to work. At least not this particular style. So I don't think I have any that color-wise that I'm going to like. Start. I'm going to shorten this. It's toward the bottom anyway. But I don't want, if I'm going to use this, I don't want to have like the long, a long empty stem, because then I'm going to have to figure out how to cover that as well. So if I shorten it, then this fits a little better. So I almost feel like that's too blendy. I mean, or do I want to go like crazy out of the wheelhouse? I do have some really bright ones. I've got a bright pink. Oh no, they got glued to my glue page. Got baby blue. Which I don't mind the greens with the browns. I don't. I mean, I like the baby blue and the browns together. It's kind of always been my color wheelhouse. I don't like the purple. I've got hot pink. I also like pink and brown together. And then I have a baby pink, but I think I'm already thinking the baby pink's going to be too light. So do I want it subtle? Do I want it subtle or do I want it in your face? Good question. It was funny after I dropped my niece off at school and everything. You know, she had a bag still here. And late last night, her mom texts me and says, "Hey, by the way, are you still bringing her suitcase back?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot. Sorry, it's been a day." And I get over there, you know, and the first thing she asks me, my niece, she goes, "Oh, are you already in your pajamas?" And I'm like, "Girl," or would she ask me if I changed into daytime clothes? And I said no. So when I took a shower, I changed out of my last night pajamas and I changed into the today pajamas. Because when I was taking her to school, I'm like, "I'm not even getting dressed." And she goes, "That's okay. You're not getting out of the truck anyway, right?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And she's like, "Okay." I just thought it was funny. Do you change into daytime clothes? Daytime sweats is what she asked. Did you change into daytime sweats? I'm like, "No. I changed out of last night's pajamas into today's pajamas." It's the joys of not having to go anywhere, I guess, is that I have that option. I don't have to get dressed if I don't want to. In fact, today I won't either. After this video, I will hop in the shower, take my shower, and change into today's pajamas. Because I can. See, I like the red. Now I like the red. Now that there's some pink on there. So we're going to go with that. Take these uber super delicate die cuts. Get them back in their little sleeve. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to give that pocket there some substance. So I wish I had some brown. I don't think I have any brown lace. So this is waist canvas from the Cross Stitch World. Coffee dyed or tea, could be tea dyed. I've tried doing waist canvas cross stitch. I do not enjoy it. So I have a bunch of it in my stash. So I went ahead and coffee tea stained it. And what I usually do when I'm using it in this, unless it's going on something that has blue in it, I pull that blue string out. I'm like, I have green lace. It's out of reach. Unstacking the pile in front to get the pile underneath. Digging through my spare ribbon stuff. I'm looking for something green. Yeah, purple. Kind of pulling some scrap pieces out of here. Small bucket. And it literally is just a spin and a bend to put that bucket to put it away and to grab it. So it's appropriate. It's within my rules. Kind of ties that green in a little bit. I just want you to lay flat. I'm going to glue this down with the good glue, with the Fabri-Tac glue. I just need it to stay put for a moment. That was not supposed to happen. The glue stick was supposed to hold it in place. Should have held it in place long enough for me to come in and do this with the glue stick. Well, admit right now that I am actively trying to resist a temptation, because I'm trying not to give somebody that I literally have never, ever, ever spoken to outside the written word the attention that they so desperately seem to want. I have them blocked, so I can't see their comments, but I've had somebody send me some stuff. I'm like, It's funny how, I don't know, just amazes me how out of the way some people will go just to be a jerk, especially to a perfect stranger. Like, I've noticed that a lot too on the crafting channels. I've had, heard other creators talk about that too, where they just get the most random and, rudest comments on their videos. And it's like, if you don't like the channel, turn it off. There's no point in making a comment about it, or, just don't say anything. Don't watch it, and, but it's ridiculous. And yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. I don't get people that have to be so negative and hateful all the time. Hmm. Hmm. I just totally got a Mean Girls quote in my head. Stop trying to make fetch happen. That's how I feel about this right now. It's like I'm trying to fit a square peg in a round hole right now. Is what I feel like in trying to do this tag. I'm just like not. I'm not seeing the vision here. It's not. It's not coming to me. Still not completely sold. I'm putting that on as a pocket. Clearly. But if I don't, then I got to decorate this whole piece. Oh, should we bring in some more? Should we balance it? Put some green down here on the bottom. Mm. You know what? I'm going to put this on because otherwise I'm going to keep going back and forth and waffling on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue the pocket down, a little tuck. So I'm going to glue across the bottom and up the long edge. So I can stop moving it around. I can stop waffling about it. I can stop being like, oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Nope. It's glued down. It is. There is no try. There is only do. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, guys. When my blood pressure or my blood sugar drops, it drops really, really fast. Um, Otherwise, I would have muted before I stuck my finger in a jar of peanut butter. But all of a sudden, it was like, whoa, and I'm like, okay, now. Yeah. Being diabetic is fun. Not. Yeah, I was talking with my best friend who's a nurse, and her mom is currently in the hospital after a diabetic event, and I'm like, man, I'm really struggling. It's hard for me to conceptualize. I don't even know if that's the right word. What I need to be doing for my diabetes when my body does not respond the way it's supposed to. It's like, I was telling her, I'm like, how is it that my blood sugar drops while I'm eating? That's counter, so it's like, but I can't not eat. I mean, that's, so how do you be a non-insulin dependent diabetic that experiences reactive hypoglycemia versus hyperglycemia? And it's like, so yeah, that's kind of where that just led me. Sitting here minding my own business, and all of a sudden I was like, whoa. And that was just plain and simply my body processing a little bit of breakfast. And then it tanks. And then I have to take in more protein to then balance it out. It's the weirdest thing. And it's like, I don't know, it's really frustrating because, like I said, I don't even know how to go about adjusting to everything, because nothing makes any sense, and nothing is working in the way that I typically would for a diabetic. So what normally when your blood sugar is dropping, they say, sugar, protein. Well, when I'm in that state, when I'm already in a reactive hypoglycemic state, consuming sugar makes it worse, and it makes it drop even further. So it's like, instinctively my brain says, grab something sweet. Can't do that. In fact, this is a reaction to me putting the cough drop in my mouth, the lozenge in my mouth, to deal with the itchy throat that came from the so got the sugar into my system. Pancreas pumped out too much insulin, caused my blood sugar to drop. Then I need protein to bring. It's a whole mess. So any of you guys that happen to stumble across my channel, watch my channel, if you are a unique diabetic like myself, in that your body does not respond to the way the doctors tell you it should be, especially if you also experience reactive hypoglycemia, I would sure appreciate some feedback, some guidance, some I don't know, because right now my doctor insists that what I'm experiencing is not what I'm experiencing. I've talked to her, I've told her repeatedly, and I've sent her videos, and I've sent her I've sent her video recordings of my blood sugar dropping as I'm physically eating something. And she still insists that I don't experience reactive hypoglycemia. And I'm like, then explain why my blood sugar is dropping as I'm eating. Well, I don't really have an explanation for that. It's funny, because I've read some medical documentation, some medical research papers, and gone on to the National Health Organization website, and I've done a lot of research, and I was able to identify this as a strong potential. But my medically trained and licensed providers like, I don't know, I don't think that's it. I don't know what it is, but that's not it. That doesn't actually, what she told me was, it's impossible. There's no way that my blood sugar can drop while I'm eating, because that's counterintuitive to the way the pancreas works and the way insulin releases and works in the body. And I'm like, it's all over in the medical journals about reactive hypoglycemia. It does happen. Yes, it does. And ironically enough, when my niece, my nephew and his wife were here just a couple weeks ago, she's a type 1 and on an insulin pump, and has been on an insulin pump since she was a kid, apparently, which I just discovered this on this most recent visit with them. Since she had C19, they have had to make several adjustments to her insulin because guess what? She's experiencing reactive hypoglycemia now. And that's when mine started. It was after I had C19 and I came out of the hospital with an inflamed liver and inflamed kidney. And suddenly my blood sugars were unstable. And my fasting blood sugars that had been, 105 to 110 consistently for 18 years suddenly were in the 130s waking up. And it all happened simultaneously. And it was right after one of my episodes with C19. And so they ran a bunch of tests on my pancreas at that time. That's because I was having a lot of abdominal pain, and it was like all over abdominal pain. So they were testing all of my, my kidney, my liver, they were testing all of my internal organs. And the pancreas was quote unquote normal. Well, guess what? So is my thyroid. My thyroid levels come back normal too, but I have all the symptoms of hypothyroidism. But since that episode, I've had issues with blood sugar. My blood sugars not being stable. My fasting blood sugars have been highly, much more elevated than they ever have been, and have since been diagnosed as a diabetic. My A1C that was stable at 5.1 for the last 20 years as a pre-diabetic, stable, not budged, not a single percentage point, 10th of a percentage point in 20 years. After this one episode with COVID, my A1C went through the roof, and here I am. So, but again, my doctor tells me, well, that's not possible because your tests are normal. It's not possible. Yet here I am, experiencing it on the daily. But it's not possible. Okay. All right, so day 5 and 6. Let me get all my supplies put away. These scissors, because again, this is me trying to be better at cleaning up after myself when I'm finished with the project. Putting all of my glues in their little caddies. I need to make a new glue caddy. I need a bigger one. This doesn't fit my stuff anymore. I'll bring it out and show you what I've got. I think I've showed it on previous video, but see, this is just it's a Kleenex box. See, I moved it, and all the stuff that it was holding up is now falling over. Excuse me. Oh, I found another scrap. To add to the scrap pile. In an envelope. That's fun. If it's smaller, it could fit on one of these projects, but that'd be too big. Anyway, this is a tissue box, like a Kleenex box. And I covered it with construction paper, Pepsi bottle. Everything's glued in. I had all these like goodies that have landed in this box somehow. This is glued in. This holds all my little tiny bits and bobs. Just random little things that end up. Oh, look, a die cut. I'm going to put that in that pile of dies that need to be put away properly. So just kind of little bits and bobs that end up on my desk that really don't have a home. End up in there. Little cutoffs and stuff, but this is glued down. This is another Pepsi bottle glued down. So this one holds my wet glue. This one holds my silicone glue. I have my Visine for my chronic dry eye. That lives in here. My good scissors. My paper. My glue squisher stays in here. Normally my glue eraser is in here too, but I'm not exactly sure where it has grown legs and walked away to. I'm sure it's on this somewhere. But now that I have my glue stick, because normally I would my glue stick would go in there and then I would take it out when I needed it. But then when I saw this idea on somebody else's channel and I'm like, oh, so now my glue stick lives in here, but it doesn't fit in my box. So, I need to make a bigger glue station, which, I will get around to. I've got a new, sorry, now I'm all focused on cleaning up my space. That's the word I'm looking for. Surge protector. I have a new surge protector coming on the way. This one is one of the long skinny ones. And I ordered one that goes upright, that, has a base and sits up this way so that my cords can go up. And that will free up a little bit more space on my table where this lives. But I don't want to make a new cubby until after I get my new surge protector so that I know exactly how big my box can be. If that makes any sense. But for now, this just lives right in front of that box. But I'd rather it be in it. That way things are not... so they're more organized. Because things that just sit on my desk tend to still get knocked over no matter what. Oh, those go in that one up there. Oh, I got to trim those and ink those. Got all these lids to my pencils that have the erasers on them, but I don't have any of the pencils anymore. Goes to show how much I use an eraser in my craft room, right? So anyway, bring it back into today's topic. So I have created a pocket, and again, this will glue down on the page like this. Put glue here, here, and across the bottom, and it'll glue onto the page like this. And then you have the full width of the pocket as your pocket, the full width of your pocket for all of your stuff. So if I didn't do those little flaps, I would lose the glue line. So I'd have stuff that would go to here, and, and you wouldn't have it be able to go. But having the little flaps, you can then go all the way out to that fold line with whatever you put in the pocket. The value of those little gussets. And then this tag with a pocket on it. And I'm going to, where is it? There it is. Then I need to do some stamping. I have my whole stack of scraps here that I need to stamp on. The problem is that once I stamp on them, I then have to put them away. Okay, never mind. I was thinking I'd be able to trim those corners, but I can't get it in there. I might be able to use it with one of my other corner rounders. I don't know. Or I can leave it. I can leave them squared off. It's my choice, right? So pocket and tag for day 5 and 6 of the 100-day challenge. So hit that like button on the way out if you didn't do so on the way in. That way you get the alerts when I've dropped more videos. They come fast, and sometimes they're regular and sometimes they're very sporadic. But I do my best to do at least one video every single day. So with that, I will talk to you later and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.